Good afternoon and welcome to the Drubner Center. We're on the CACC network. It's its senior day here for the Post University Eagles. This Post gets ready to take on Holy Family. Eagles trying to win their 10th in a row after clinching division title, regular season title that is, in their last game earlier this week. Holy Family coming in with a record of 17-8, 8-4 in conference in the CACC. They are 5-3 on the road. Post a perfect 11-0 within the CACC, standing at 22-3. They are undefeated here on home court as well, 12-0. And trying to win that 10th game in a row. Haven't lost since October 9th on the road at AIC. We're just about ready to get underway here from the Drubner Center.
Kristen, you're on the internet, right? Yeah. Stats aren't going again for some reason.
Vivian Andrea Fehevari gets us underway. Cadence Palmer, the libero, on serve receive. And a kill on the board for Holy Family. It's Shelby Kinzer. Comes into this one with 304 kills on the year to lead her team. Giving the Tigers an early 1-0 lead. Kinzer a hit percentage of just over .205. And she's behind the service line here to start this possession as the senior Christina Parrish responds from the near pin. Parrish coming into this one with 446 kills. They've set one side and won another senior honored pregame. Melissa Groves, the post libero, on serve now. Kinzer, kind of an awkward shovel over the net. Prolonged rally for the first time so far this afternoon, and that one went a little bit long off the hand of Mackenzie Layton. The freshman, 286 kills for her this year. Couple straight points for the Eagles. Tough pass on receive there. It is Kidd, kind of sweeps it over. Here's Parrish one more time, goes for that corner, and it's played off the ceiling by Morgan Marziani-Radomski. The Eagles have themselves a 3-0 run in the early going. Groves one more time, a line drive. Neil Wise with a nice set to the far pin. And it is Layton that time redeeming herself after the error, collecting the kill. It's the aforementioned David Kidd now back to serve. Teams working quickly. Parrish, they go at her. And on the block, Holy Family comes up short there with Leah Logan. Kind of blocked it back on her own side of the floor. So Post leads 4-2. And Erasa Salder behind the service line. Another line drive. Just missed the top of the tape. And a nice block in the middle. Nuri Shahid Stevenson with a nice defensive play from the middle of the court. Post with their largest lead early, with a margin of 3, and a net violation is going to be called on Post. Might have been the setter, DiFrancesco, but nonetheless. Margin back within 2 is the setter, and Wise serves now for the Tigers. They go at Salder, and the Eagles just out of system on that possession. For the first time today, Holy Family strung together consecutive points. Wise over 1,000 assists on the year. She's on serve again here. Here's Parrish. Didn't get a lot on that one. Layton a power tip. Received well by Salder. Played to the back corner. Wise goes back for Layton again. And Holy Family evens the score at 5. Mackenzie Layton, the only Tiger so far with multiple attempts, and we have an ace from Wise. Wise came in with an ace-to-error ratio of 47 to 26. She continues to improve on that. It's a 4-0 Tiger run. Wise again at Solder in the back corner. An attack there from the setter DiFrancesco, received well by Layton. Groves gets it back to the pin. Parrish came up short, somehow kept off by Groves. Layton one more time sent back. They feed the middle again. Longest rally so far today. The dump by Wise came up short on the joust. 4 touches is the ruling. It's going to be a post point to cap off an entertaining rally there. Parrish from all the way back against the wall on serve. Miscommunication there results in a free ball from the libero Palmer. From the pin, it's Ortiz. Now Layton one more time cross court. And Tigers continuously getting it to that exact spot in the floor they want, that far pin on your screen. And Layton now behind in the back row, though. She's on serve. Potentially a break here for a post. And Parrish is back on the board with her second kill. Some more substitutions. Jaden Brault is going to come in for Mackenzie Layton, who has 4 kills already in the early going this afternoon. Alexa Arnold on serve, 27 aces to 19 errors. They immediately go at Brault, fresh into the game. Nearly crashing in is Solder, and Duncan can't keep it off the net. And Post, for the 3rd time, regains the lead. It's the 3rd lead change we've had so far today. Another libero coming in for Holy Family. It's Kira Rogan. 92 sets total played on the year. Dump attempt by DiFrancesco. Nice diving stop to dig it out by Wise. It's Ortiz again on the power tip. Bump set from the libero in Rogan, and that one too far. Off the hand of Kalia Espenlaub. So another tie, even at 8. With DiFrancesco back to serve. Line drive to the back row. Palmer with a nice pass. They get it to the near pin for Espenlaub, and she converts. She'll sub out with her due to go to the back row. Marziani Radomski comes in. The 4th lead already for Holy Family, but they have not led by more than a point so far. Serve goes at the libero Groves. Now it's Kinzer, joust at the net, and Holy Family again wins the net front battle with Kinzer. The Tigers 7 kills so far to just 4 for Post. That's been the difference maker so far, and it's an ace from Marziani Radomski. 2 aces already for Holy Family in the beginning half of set 1. They go at Ortiz in the back row, and Duncan mistimes her jump. All of a sudden, Holy Family has jumped out to a 4-point lead. Again, both coaches still with both timeouts in pocket. Let's see if another Holy Family tally could result in the first one coming from the Eagle side. Long pass up to Verich. Doesn't go anywhere. To the middle for Kidd, and she misses the sideline, so a big break for the Eagles there on that error. There's the deficit, shrinks to 3. Hivari on serve. Kinzer. What a dig by DiFrancesco. Here is Farich again. Kill number 3 for the senior. Christina Parrish gets her team within 2. And after the 6-0 Tiger run, Post has responded with a couple consecutive of their own. And an untimely error just like that from Andrea Fehervari. And Holy Family in the early going so far is netting a +3 on serves, 2 aces, and the beneficiary of 1 error. Here is Parrish again, sent back and down. The Tigers get 2 players on the block again, and Parrish's swing rejected. 14-10, Holy Family in front. Kinzer back on serve. They go at Parrish again. It's an overpass, and Layton cleans it up. 5th kill for the freshman Layton. And the Tigers continuously going at Parrish on serve. Let's see if that's the effort here. Groves gets in the way to make the initial pass. Parrish will get the swing and kill. Parrish and Layton going swing for swing. Both the freshman and senior respectively with 5 apiece. (15-11), the Tigers still in front. Near overpass, Wise, like a putback attempt. Gets it over and Kidd cleans up. Ava Kidd, who came in with 217 kills, gets her first of the afternoon. And Post seemed like they were the dominant team off the jump, but Holy Family's been overwhelming offensively ever since, but Parrish comes in with kill number 6. The Eagles keeping this in striking distance, but have hovered around a 4-point deficit for the last several points. It's Salder on serve again for the second time for Post. Tough pass there for Wise. Free ball of sorts sent over by Kinzer. Out of system is Post. Wise dumps. Another Eagle overpass. Wise sets up Layton again, and that's kill number 6 for Layton. Six kills on 8 attempts for the freshman Layton, who came in with a hitting percentage of .234, so hitting well above that. They go at Groves. Parrish blocked and unable to be kept off. What a defensive play from Espinlaub, and Post is going to call for time. And both sides so far a little one-dimensional offensively. Mackenzie Layton with 6 kills for Holy Family. Christina Parrish with 6 for Post. But other than Layton, only 3 other players have collected kills. Nuri Shahid Stevenson, the only other player to collect a kill for Post. Additionally, the Eagles only hitting .087 on the attack, with Holy Family hitting just over 200. Both sides with 7 assists, 2 aces for Holy Family, an error for the Eagles. So in this timeout, you have to be thinking, Coach Verney's trying to find a way to get another source of offense besides her senior Parrish. Let's see how this team responded to the timeout. Post facing their largest deficit at 6. And the setter, Mia Wise, will go back to the service line. Runs up and delivers. A line drive at Groves. Bump set for Parrish. Didn't get a lot on that to the back corner. Layton one more time. 7th kill in the first set for Mackenzie Layton. And the dominance here in set 1 continues for the Tigers. They lead by 7. Wise unable to keep it in. The first error on the day for Holy Family, and Post gets the break there to get back within 6. It'll be Parrish on serve. Again, 22 aces, but 41 errors on the year. Lobs it to the back row. Wise back sets Layton, and Layton comes through again. 8 kills on 10 attempts, and again, a sigh of relief coming for Post as she moves back to the back row. They go to Ortiz again. Nice dig by the aforementioned Layton. Unable to keep it in, though, is Holy Family, and Post back within 6. Again, they can't afford to trade points right now. They need to go on a run. And they'll turn to Alexa Arnold behind the service line on this rotation. Again, the Tigers 5 points away from taking an early 1-0 lead. Leah Logan back in on the sub as well for the Tigers. Wise back set. Going for Espinlob. It's defended well at the pin. And Shelby Kinzer picks up her 3rd kill. And the Tigers continuing to dominate up front. Again, Post still hitting just .080. Holy Family's percentage has ascended to .219. They feed the middle for Duncan, responded well to by the setter Wise. Espinlob, a bit of a hook and ladder play, and Ortiz collects the kill. With all the trade-offs, Post unable to go on a run. It keeps players in rotation. Doesn't keep their best offensive attackers out of the game. Wise goes to the middle for Kidd. Sent back. Combination of Nia Shahid Stevenson and Alani Duncan. Post back within 5. Can they continue? DiFrancesco, another serve off the top of the tape and down. 7-point deficit cut to 4. And Holy Family is going to call their first timeout of the afternoon. So a nice kill by Eliana Ortiz. A service ace. And an attack error have helped string together a few consecutive points. And as a result, Post has found some life. Again, the margin for error is still pretty thin, with the deficit at 4, 21-17. And keep in mind, a lot of this run has come with Parrish kind of out of the picture. And again, Post on a 9-game win streak. Their last loss coming at AIC. All 3 of their losses have come in at least 4 sets or more. 2 of them in 5, all 3 of them on the road. They have not lost a game at home all year, and they're in danger of falling short here in set 1 after the rough offensive start. They've thinned the margin in terms of hit percentage. But again, Holy Family just a small run from taking the early set lead. DiFrancesco will serve again back against the wall. She runs up and delivers off the top of the net again. Responded well to that time by Braultz. Tough pass by Groves. They swing it to Nia Shahid Stevenson, and she converts. Both Shahid Stevenson sisters with a kill apiece. 7-point lead cut to 3. DiFrancesco on a nice little run here. Another line drive to the back corner. Wise back sets. Espinlob delivered to the corner and delivered. A bit of a miscommunication in the back row with Groves and Parrish. And Holy Family starting to take advantage with Parrish kind of out of system in the back row. Parrish does have 246 digs on the year. That's fourth on her team. They feed Duncan, who scoops it over, and they're going to call the carry. Did look like she kind of swung it over, and the violation is called. So now Holy Family a pair of points away from taking the early lead. On serve, Marziani Radomski weaves it short, adding some life for the Eagles. 23-19 the score. Andrea Fehevari will take on the pressure here. A bit of a lob to the back row. They go for Kinzer again. That's dug out. Back set for Kidd. Took something off of it. Parrish responded well. Maury Stevenson, there's a joust. They go for Kidd on the tip and down. Set point Tigers, 24-19. And Layton's coming back in the game. See if Post can keep it away from Layton. Maybe force her to be on receive. Parrish deflected well. Bum set. Layton, her toughest swing of the day, right at Groves. Parrish again, cross court. Dug out by Palmer. Layton didn't get all of it there. Maybe the side of the wrist. Parrish one more time. Nice job by the front to settle it down. Layton, for the third time on this rally, her and Parrish just trading swings, and Parrish wins the battle. 24-20, Eagles still alive here in set one. They need Groves to rattle off at least 4 straight. Layton in full rhythm, wraps it up. Holy Family takes set 1 on 9 Mackenzie Layton kills. As we will transition into set 2. It's 1-0 Tigers here on the CACC Network. Back on the CACC network, Holy Family leads Post 1-0. Jeremy Goldstein here, joined alongside Michael Vesey. Michael, Post trying to respond, even the score up at 1-1. Holy Family seemed to dominate offensively. Mackenzie Layton, 9 kills. How do you neutralize her in this set?
Yeah, that's the thing. Layton's the only one who's really doing anything right now. 571 hit percentage, 9 kills on 14 total attacks. No one else has more than 3 kills. Christina Parrish on the other side with 7 kills. Post this year, though, 9-2 when losing the first set so far.
And still has that undefeated record here at home to try to defend. Layton and Parrish, you mentioned both of those players, a combined 32 attacks in the first set. Holy Family at 45, Post with just 35. So an overwhelming majority of both attacks on either side. They go at Parrish to start set 2. The pin able to settle it down here. They go back at Layton, and the combination of Nia Shahid Stevenson and Duncan reject that.
Looks like it went out of bounds, though, so it's going to be Holy Family's point.
Just missed the sideline, and it will be Kinzer on serve. Parrish, tough pass off the ceiling. It's another ace for the Tigers, their third of the day already. It's an early 2-0 lead off the jump. Kinzer on the year. 44 aces to just 23 errors. And there's error number 24 as the score is 2-1. Groves will now go behind the service line. The libero already with 3 assists and 6 digs and collects ace number 1. So the last 3 points have decided on the serve, and we're tied at 2.
Yep, that's only the second service ace so far of the day for Post, who I believe had 16 or 17 in their last matchup.
That last matchup clinching them the division title. Bump set comes from the middle blocker and Kidd, and just a miscommunication there with Layton and the setter Wise. After Post looked a little overwhelmed off the jump here in set 2, they've rattled off 3 straight.
Yeah, and Holy Family's done a great job so far in this game, kind of neutralizing Christina Parrish on the attack, as they did last year against Post.
Bit of a joust at the net. Parrish couldn't get there in time. It looks like it's going to be Holy Family's point as it's tied 3-3 with Kidd behind the service line. Line drive nearly hit the net. The back set goes to Shahid Stevenson. Free ball comes from Kinzer. In system is Post. They feed Parrish in the middle. Holy Family was ready for the low velocity swing. Can they get it back over with Kinzer? Not quite. Would have been a miraculous free ball. But Michael, make it 4 straight Post point, or 4 points for Post in the last 5.
Yeah, that's big for them to get back in this after falling down 2-0 early, but you can't rest on that. We saw them start out hot in set 1, and Holy Family came roaring back.
And just 1 kill so far for Holy Family in this set so far amongst their 3. Here's Layton. Getting in the way of it was Andrea Ferravari. We're tied at 4. Another player to look out for is the setter Mia Wise, coming in over 1,000 assists on the year. She plays a very good back row as well. Awkward swing there by Parrish, but it's effective. And a nice job there by Nuri Shahid Stevenson, standing her ground at the pin.
Yeah, I mean, these two teams right now are ones you could potentially be previewing a CACC championship matchup for. And so it's like, does either team really want to show their full cards? Because this really honestly looks like it could be the finals matchup at the end of this all.
It kind of goes back to that saying, Michael, right? If you beat a team once in the regular season, it's hard to beat them again come postseason. As we do see an ace from Parrish there. So not a kill yet in this set, but does get it done from behind the line.
Yeah, both teams struggling on the attack so far. Hit percentage is 0 for Post, negative 200 for Holy Family.
On the day, just .075 for Post. To the middle, that's Nuri Shahid Stevenson. Bump set comes from Palmer. Espinlob got it over, but a nice stop there by Ortiz.
Jeremy, you called it before the game. You said one was going to hit you. That one almost did.
Just short of the table. Parrish is back on serve. Palmer right there. They go at her. That's Layton kind of falling backwards off balance. Ortiz off the deflection and nearly fell. Joust at the net. And it was played off of Shaheed Stevenson's back by Salder, and that's a break for the Tigers.
A big break there, especially with the run that Post has been on, a 4-0 or 3-0 before that, I should say. And now you've got to make sure that this doesn't turn into a Holy Family run.
Miscommunications like that are often how runs start. Another joust. That's a net violation on somebody.
Yeah, Alice DiFrancesco touched that net while she was hitting it over.
Looks like both players on each side might have touched it, but DiFrancesco with the first touch of the net. And the 3-point lead is shrunk down to 1 with Layton still on serve on the line drive. DiFrancesco bumps it, going the other way. What a stop! Scooping it off the ground by Wise. They go at Parrish from the back row. Off the ceiling it goes, and Parrish picks up her first kill of the frame.
And Jeremy, I talked about this in the last 2 broadcasts. Tiffany Verney practices off the ball, off the beams in here with the kids. She will throw it off the beams to have the kids try and receive it. It's a home court advantage for the Eagles with the low ceilings because of that. They know how to play it. Opponents coming in here once a year don't.
It's interesting that you say that, too, because a lot of times an opposing team might come in and complain about it and think, wow, Post has to play with that all year. As Espinlod picks up the kill.
Yeah, that's not the case. She will practice that in her 7 a.m. practices, just throws it off the beams and tells the girls to go for it.
For me personally, again, I'm not an athlete. It's hard to imagine expecting where the ball to go off the ceiling.
Exactly.
Here's Ortiz, splits the double and picks up the kill. Second kill of the day for Ortiz, and Post has regenerated their multi-point lead. DiFrancesco into the net for an error. Just the second service error for Post, 3 for Holy Family. Again, both sides have had 3 aces and just 1 more error for Holy Family. So on the service side, nobody's really gained a true advantage there.
No, and last game that was a big thing. Post, I think, had 15 or 16 service errors. And
Ortiz and Groves nearly collide. It's probably one you want to allow Groves to get if you're Ortiz being the libero, but Holy Family notches it up at 9.
Yeah, they're standing right next to each other. It's very close. And Parrish just told them to spread out a little.
Groves alone for that one. Nia Shaheed Stevenson gets the kill after Holy Family unable to scoop it out of the stands.
I'm more surprised they're even able to scoop it with how close that was to the seats. You usually don't see teams go for it once it gets past that line over there.
Some bold fans sitting in the front row all the way close to the action where they could be a victim of a crash of some kind. Post up by 1. Here is Layton, right where she left off. Kill number 12.
I got to tell you, that's one of the most powerful hits that I've seen in the CACC so far for home games this year. It seems like she's just got such a strong arm on the kill attempts.
It's really incredible to see a freshman be able to split a block like that. As Parrish goes right back to work. High velocity there, but it's dug out by Palmer. Now it's Duncan frantically sending it back over with Holy Family, and Layton had a pretty good attempt at it, but missed the sideline.
What I'm really impressed with so far in this set by Post is the fact that they seem to have adjusted from their mistakes in the first set. They're holding Layton, I think, she's only got 3 kills so far, and they're doing a better job defensively up front with blocking.
A lot of it's making her have that first touch off the swing, so it's harder for the setter to kind of get it back in her direction. That's the 20th attack for Layton on that one, and Parrish picks up the kill. 12-10 Post.
Watch her the rest of this game. I mean, that was a strong hit, but I saw her the other night, and it seems like she gets better as time goes on in these games. It just becomes more powerful the more attempts you take, which you think would be the exact opposite as the match goes on.
And there's an ace on the overpass for Groves. And back to Parrish. She was getting her swings, and she had her fair share of kills. She had 7 in that first set, but it didn't look like she was in rhythm, which is scary when a player is still getting several amount of kills in that set to begin with. Wise back sets Kidd. Shaheed Stevenson, good dig by Palmer. in the right spot. Groves will set up Parrish. Easy retrieval there for Layton. One of our longer rallies here is set 2. Parrish again. Palmer keeps it alive. Free ball. Just misses the mark off the top of the net and back the other way. It'll go down as another Parrish kill, number 11. And Holy Family's got a call for time.
Yeah, that's a big timeout there that you forced them. 4 straight points for the Eagles, 5 of the last 6. And now you're ahead by 4. You want to just kind of build on that. The last game against Bridgeport, the Eagles really struggled out of their opponent's timeouts, where Bridgeport went on a couple big runs. I believe the Eagles were up 11 in the second or third set of that last match, and they allowed Bridgeport to get back in it after a timeout and pull within 1. It was 20-19 in that set at one point. So Eagles just got to keep it rolling here now that they've kind of got something going.
Christina Parrish, you mentioned how we've got to watch her the rest of the way. 10 kills on 27 attempts. Hit percentage just under .300 at .296. She got half of her team's attacks on the day.
I would keep an eye, too, on Alani Duncan still. And I've said this before. Duncan has been kind of under the radar so far this year. Coming into the day, she only has 157 kills, which is still a lot. But as the game goes on, if she elevates, she can hammer it home over the other hand. We haven't seen it today except for the one where she grabbed it and kind of threw it over. But when she gets up in the air and gets a good set for her from Alice Di Francesco, she can hammer it home into the spots where teams can't get it, because she really can get up there for somebody who's only, I believe, 5'8".
Getting Duncan going could be a game breaker for Post as well. 3 errors on 5 attempts, no kills for Duncan so far. So some production from her could go a long way for a Post team that's already leading by 4 here in set 2.
And as long as the Shaheed Stevenson sisters can help out defensively on the blocks up front, that'll be key for the Eagles as well down this stretch.
Groves, they go back for Parrish, and another kill off the timeout. Holy Family a bit out of rhythm after their own stoppage, and Post is their largest lead at any point today at 5.
And that's what you want. Right out of that timeout, get that first point and keep your momentum going, because Holy Family had a chance to steal it there out of their timeout.
Good serve there by Groves into the corner. Kidd goes cross court. Easy stoppage there by Di Francesco, the setter. Groves has done a lot of setting herself today. Free ball, though, delivered on the Eagle end. Here's Kidd again. She fans on it. And Post leads by 6. Again, Michael Layton kept out of the action as Holy Family stuck to the middle of the court here.
700 hit percentage after the first set. She's down to 364 now.
Here is Layton. Back on the board, it appears. It is going to be Holy Family points, so kill number 12 for the freshman.
I'm very impressed by Groves to even get a hand on that with the way that was hammered over.
Shaheed Stevenson again off the ceiling. Falls right into the arms of Logan. Another ceiling ball played to Di Francesco. That's a long swing from Parrish. Di Francesco feeds the middle. Did it go off a tip for Nuri Shaheed Stevenson? They say no.
Big credit to Di Francesco for playing that. That literally came straight off the beam, straight down, and she was in the right place to get it. That's what I talk about with the practice being so big.
She's had to make a lot of initial passes today, and Groves has done a lot of assisting. This is going to be a line violation on the Eagles, perhaps. It's going to be Holy Family point. It's like they might have said Di Francesco crossed that line. She's the setter playing in the back row. And again, the momentum disrupted by another Kidd error. It's the 4th service error on the day for Holy Family. 4 separate players with 1 apiece.
Yeah, now 3 straight errors for both sides. 4 in the last 5 points.
Salder back on serve. Overpass, and Parrish cleans it up.
You cannot leave that ball anywhere near the net for Parrish to hammer it home. She's got the long arms at 6'2" to do something like that when it's a free ball. That's how the Eagles won the match the other night in set 4.
Even though they dominated the end of the set, something Holy Family seemed vulnerable on the whole time was that first pass on serve receive, and it comes back to bite them there. Parrish again. Kinzer kind of went down to the ground to get that one. was almost sitting. Here's Parrish one more time for another. Kill number 13 for the senior on senior day.
She's swinging it over 280 now, and I believe I said it last game too. 6 of the last 7 matches she swung over at 280 and with 10-plus kills. It's absurd.
Two very similar sets, but both teams each the beneficiary, as that's an ace. Off the ceiling went the pass. Holy Family calls their final timeout. They trail 20-13. This is the largest lead by either side today at any point.
Yeah, this is big for Post right now. You force Holy Family to use their second timeout. You're up 7 on another big 4-0 run after Holy Family seemed to get momentum back with those 2 errors on 3 straight points for them. And now the Eagles kind of in control of this set. But again, like I mentioned, out of the timeouts, it's important you keep that momentum up after what we saw against Bridgeport the other day, where Bridgeport kind of took that momentum out. Eagles did a good job of keeping the Tigers off the board straight out of the timeout. See if they can do it here and not let Holy Family get on a short run to get back into this set.
At the end of the first set, Holy Family was dominating hitting percentage. They were almost 200 points higher than Post. That deficit is now a margin of .28. Holy Family at .153, Post at .125. Neither of those are really strong hitting percentages, so to speak, but from where Post was originally, they've got to be encouraged by that shrinking margin.
Yeah, I mean, they're hitting at 138 in this set alone, and Holy Family's down to .037. So, I mean, that's a positive. Neither team, though, is really generating a lot of kills in comparison to the errors. They've just been a lot of errors on the attack because the blocks up front have been good so far.
Race Asalder also on a really nice service run. Came into this one with an ace error ratio of 43-25. And already has 1 ace so far today, along with 3 digs. She lobs to the back. Kinzer on receive again. Power tip Layton. Awkward one by Parrish. That could have been another carry on Shahid Stevenson. Goes uncalled. And a net violation might have been called on Layton there.
Looks like that's what it was. And you mentioned Salter, too, back there. I believe she had 7 service aces alone in the last match against Bridgeport. So she's been lethal back there even just for that.
Post lead is 8. What a run Salder's on behind the service line. That's a tough pass from Wise. It's a free ball, and it finds the floor. Weird one there. I don't think Andrea Fehavari was really expecting that to fall short.
No, I think there's been some miscommunications with the ball coming over on services for the Eagles so far today.
Didn't expect it to go all the way to the back row. Cleaning it up there for Holy Family is Leah Logan. 8-point deficit shrunk to 6. Still a very thin margin for error for the Tigers, but they've shown the ability to score points in bunches. Near overpass.
Wow.
What a misdirect, or redirect that is, from DiFrancesco. Saved the whole point.
Yeah, she doesn't do it often. She only averages like 3-4 kills a game, but when she does, it's at the moments you least expect it, and it's when the Eagles need a point the most.
That reminded me of a bit of a redirect when a hockey player standing in front of the goal. Very similar to that. Another overpass by the Tigers. DiFrancesco does it again.
They'll take it any way you can get it.
A bit of a sky hook by the setter. And Post 2 points away from evening the score up at 1-1. It will be Parrish on serve. That's the one point where she can struggle as she picks up another error. And if you're Holy Family, you kind of want her to be stuck in that back row as long as possible. Shahid Stevenson does the heavy lifting, though, in the middle. Nuri picks up her second kill, and it's set point Post.
Yeah, no room for error for Holy Family and no timeouts. So they have to go on a 9-0 run if they want to finish this off. Obviously, if that were to happen, Coach Verney would probably call a timeout somewhere in between there.
Probably two. Another serve coming from Arnold. Here is Layton trying to join the party again. Ortiz ends up with a free ball. Wise goes for Espinlon off the ceiling. Ortiz saves it. Practice coming to fruition for Post. Here's Logan one more time. Espinlon off the top of the tape. No. That would have been quite the way to end the set for Post. But Holy Family has a little bit of a breath left here in set 2, down 7, 24-17.
Irregardless, DiFrancesco, some great stops. Alexa Arnold comes in off the bench and makes 3 fantastic stops on some kill attempts to keep that point alive.
You know, she's laughing about it on the sideline. She knows there's nothing else she could have done by the end of that one. Long set going for, Michael, you said it, Alani Duncan, and that first kill wraps it up. Post ties at 1-1.
Yeah, there it was. You left it up there, and she elevates when she needs to and can hammer it home at the right time. Post, every time this year other than in the Bentley loss, has won their first set coming out of losing, wins the next set after losing the first set. So if you do the math on that, they're 9-2 and after first set losses. That means they've won the first set in now I think, if my math is correct, 11 of those. Yeah, 11 of the 12.
Going to be a very interesting set 3 to see which team comes out with fire to start. We'll take a break here on the CACC Network. We're tied at 1 between Holy Family and Post. Back here on the CACC Network, Jeremy Goldstein here alongside Michael Vesey. Post with a really statement-making set 2 win after a bit of a sluggish set 1, if you will. Really dominant offensively, especially in that back half.
Christina Parrish is talking to me right now while they're getting ready to go into Alice DiFrancesco. I can't repeat what Christina was just saying to me, but I don't think they're very happy that they lost that first set, but nonetheless, the Eagles roar back in set number 2, win it by 8 points, and you hope that they can keep this momentum up heading into set number 3. They did gain some momentum in set 1, too, down the stretch. I mean, they were trailing for a large part of that and got some points there at the end and kind of carried that over into set number 2. We'll see if they can keep it up here in set 3 like they've done so many times this year after losing set 1.
This is a Holy Family team that's trying to remain in second place within the conference. Obviously, Post has clinched their spot at the top. Wise, they go at Kinzer, and Holy Family, for the third straight time, gets the first point of the set.
Yeah, and this is the time of year where bodies are starting to wear it down. People are tired. I was listening to Coach Sibilia over to my left before the game talking about how everybody's kind of tired at this time of year, but he felt that they have the healthiest bodies, as healthy as they know of, to kind of make a run here at the end of the year.
Waiting back in for Braultz. And there's Duncan again. Mike, out of the last timeout, you talked so much about how she's kind of due to get going. It's weird to see her kind of out of the picture so much. She gets the point to wrap up the set, then elevates to tie the score at 1 just there.
Yeah, and that's the thing about Duncan is you don't really hear about her too much because she doesn't generate as many kills as someone like Parrish does. But she does add something to the offensive attack.
Speaking of Parrish, high elevation and the kill, number 14 for the senior.
Yeah, and who would have thought after that first set where she was kind of out of rhythm now, she's gotten ahead of Layton, who's kind of fallen off in the last set and a half.
They try to go at Layton here. Kind of had to leap backwards for that one. Parrish responds. Nice dig that time by Palmer. Layton in rhythm, gets the kill. Number 13 for the freshman on 29 attempts, and it's tied at 2.
Yeah, just a freshman, too. I mean, if Christina Parrish is probably this year's player of the year in the CACC, but Layton may very well be next year.
They're saying that Groves didn't get that off the floor. She can't seem to believe the call. It's going to be an ace for Kidd for the time being. I think Groves might have had a point there. I'm not sure.
I couldn't tell if it was that or because she touched the net.
Maybe a net violation on the middle. Here's Parrish trying to even the score. Catches Kinzer flat-footed.
She's on track. She's up above 300 now attack-wise. Her and Layton are just going toe-to-toe right now.
Post is now ascended over Holy Family in hit percentage, something that seemed unthinkable after the first set. It was Salder's service run that did the job for Post in set 2. She's back behind the line here. Layton back to work, and it nabs the line. Precision personified for Layton. It's kill number 14. The Tigers reclaim the lead.
She's at 14. Parrish is at 15. Both are on track for 30-plus kill games right now.
There's 51 or 52 total kills so far in this match. Parrish and Layton have 29 of them, because that's going to be a post kill from the middle of the floor. 4-4.
Yeah, other thing to note, too, defensively, Alyssa Groves, 16 digs so far. I believe coming into the match, she's 72 away from the conference record for all time in career.
And another error for Parrish. Seems like she just doesn't get the ball high enough into the air. It's her second error of the day.
Yeah, and the one difference about her from a lot of people on the serve is she doesn't jump for it. She's so tall, she can elevate it from the back line.
And there's an error for Layton. So, again, the two dominant net front players struggling from the service line to start set 3. Both these sides trading off points. Nobody's had a multi-point lead yet as we get ready for some substitutions. Layton due to go to the back row, so they turn to Jaden Braultz. Parrish plays full rotation around. When Mackenzie Layton goes to the back row, unless she's serving, she's not in the game. Wise back sets for Espinlaud, and that's somehow kept off. Parrish from the back into the net. And I guess it kind of comes down to the point, a lot of these players, some are trusted to hit from the back row more than others. Parrish being a senior, she's got that experience.
Yeah, she's been here for 2 years, kind of knows the deal, and was, I believe, all conference at AIC for a couple of years as well. So
up high for Ortiz. Espinlaud did a really nice job on the block. Kinzer off of Groves, who reads it off the ceiling. Ortiz does, and it's a free ball from Groves. They feed Kidd. Another awkward swing. One of the weirder rallies we've seen today. No one in system. Blocked on the other end by Kidd. They get it to the center Wise, who back sets Espinlaud, and Post takes a 2-point lead. Or excuse me, the Tigers do.
Yeah, Ortiz with a great block attempt right there, just couldn't get it back over. These two teams are just hammering each other hard in every aspect of this game. It's been a lot of back and forth rallies so far, and we're only in set 3.
The only multi-point lead Holy Family had in that frame was...
Did she just kick that?
She kicked it. DiFrancesco kicks it to keep it alive. Here's Kinzer. Well, Post has to win the point now. Ortiz on the power tip. Kept alive in the back row. And it's out of bounds by Parrish. That was Sports Center level highlight. But Holy Family withstands it. And there's an early timeout called by Coach Verney. as the Tigers take an 8-5 lead.
Yeah, DeFrancesco, I'm pretty sure I'd have to double check her bio. I think she does actually have a soccer background from overseas in Italy. So she's done that a couple times this year. I do like this timeout, though, from Coach Verney to do it now before things get too out of hand. It's only 8-5 right now. Call it early before things start to get, 5-6 points, and then you're kind of having to claw back more, and you only have, or you still have your 2 timeouts at your disposal, but it's kind of the Tigers in favor there at that point.
And that's what can be scary, right? We talked about how they were lacking Mackenzie Layton in that second set. Now they're succeeding without her getting 5 hits, 3, 4, 5 hits every point down. So you feel like it's inevitable they're going to get her involved again, and you don't want to fall behind by too much when they do.
Yeah, and so far, 4 of the 8 points for Holy Family have been via attacks. They have no errors, post with 2 errors and 4 kills so far. So pretty evenly a matched set so far, but it's just the Eagles with a couple of errors and miscues getting out of rhythm with the ball on their side. One thing I will say, like I mentioned last set, was those balls off the ceiling so far have favored post in every aspect of the game. I don't think they missed a single one off the ceiling so far.
Kind of like they know to have players cover all possible areas where the ball can land when it hits the ceiling. Cadence Palmer's on a nice service run right now until then. She says, my bad, and that's one way for Post to get a point out of the timeout.
That's 6 now for Holy Family in the match.
Just 4 for the Eagles on their end. DeFrancesco will serve now. Might have gone out. Brault still played it. Wise, free balls. Shahid's Stevenson somehow kept alive. What a play by Kidd to just shovel it over. Wise goes for Kidd. Nice dig by DeFrancesco. It's Ortiz to the opposite corner. They go for Kinzer, and she converts.
I'm about 90% sure that ball was about 2 or 3 rows deep, and they managed to get it out of there and hit it over.
Really good way to initiate the point. Shelby Kinzer, somebody who had a rough set too. She's had a couple kills now in the beginning stages of this frame. Nice stick by Groves on serve receive. Shahid Stevenson out of the reach of Palmer. Nice cross-court kill. Andrea Fehervari will be next from the service line. Post looking to get back within 1, 9-7. Wise on the joust. Parrish cleans it up.
Can't leave it up there for her.
If there's a one-on-one at the net, she's not going to lose that battle, especially being the tallest player on both sides. And it is 9-8. Ever since the post timeout, they've won 3 of 4. Brault's on receive. Kidd power tip. Groves in the perfect spot. Parrish is as well. 9-9. Kill number 18 for Parrish. We're just in set 3.
And she's also got a double-double now. 10 digs on the day, along with Alyssa Groves with 19. So those two really doing it on the defensive end.
And an error to break up the run. 5th error on the day for Post. How many times today have we seen a team, whether it's the Eagles or Tigers, go on a nice little run and the error just stops momentum?
Yeah, it's a momentum killer, especially when you're trailing in a set and the Eagles right there have a chance to tie it up, and then, it's another attack error. There's another one.
Kinzer now, the error. Again, we saw Parrish and Layton exchange errors. There we see Andrea Fehervari and Kinzer exchange errors. And it's 10-10. Nobody, unlike in sets 1 and 2, has really jumped out to a big lead so far. The largest 3. That was a Holy Family lead. What a play by Wise. Kept it away from Parrish. And Layton with her most unconventional kill of the day.
It just seems like Post at times, because I'm seeing them kind of communicate with each other, are not where they're supposed to be at times. And it's resulting in these easy kill attempts for the Tigers.
I'll give credit to Mia Wise. Instead of trying to beat Parrish, she just kept it back on her own side and allowed her offense to reset. Parrish again on the block. It's going to be a post point. They say it went out of bounds and it didn't hit a body.
Parrish thought that was about to hit her, and somehow she managed to get her arm just out of the way on instinct.
Seeing by the reaction of Leah Logan, she was very confused by that result as well. 11-11. Wise for Layton again. Another kill, number 16. The two-time CACC Rookie of the Week making another case for herself here in the second week of November. Wise is in the back row, potentially advantage post on that front. Parrish on the block. It was Logan. She gets helped by Espinlad. It's going to be post point, excuse me. Score is 12-12. High judge corrected their call, and that's going to be another Parrish error. Number 3. She's got half of their service errors on the day.
Yeah, they've got 6 total now, and then 13 attack errors as well. It's just the errors are going to come back to haunt you.
Layton on serve. She gets it in that time. Bump set for Palmer. Goes in Espinlad's direction, and she kind of fanned on it. Only her fingertips got the top of the ball, and these two teams continue to just trade point after point. It's 13-13.
Yeah, I mean, luckily it's regular season right now, but when you see so many errors and miscommunications like this, come tournament time, both CACC and NCAA, both these teams are in consideration for a regional bid. You can't have those. You got to be able to clean them up.
A lot of enthusiasm from the Holy Family sideline today. Espinlad on the shovel. It's going to be Ortiz who gets a good pass. Wise dumps to the corner. Parrish keeps it in. What a play by Christina Parrish. Obviously, she has her service struggles, but she does make a lot of big plays in the back row.
Yeah, Alexa Arnold tipped that to Parrish for her to get it over to DiFrancesco. I don't know how she got a hand on it.
Sometimes when both sides are just frantically moving, there's going to be a wide open spot on the floor, and you just got to find it in an unconventional way. Nobody seems to be able to string together points here. It's 14-14.
No, and big credit to Alexa Arnold, who just checked out. I mean, the few times she's been on the floor, she has made some huge plays during rallies. Oh, yeah, man.
It continues. That's not like Cadence Palmer on the year.
Both teams have more service errors than they do aces at this point now.
8 errors for Holy Family, 7 for post. Here's Kinzer. Nice job in positioning by Groves. On the block, it's Kidd and Espinlad. From the back low, it's Parrish. And Brault and Palmer nearly collide. Miscommunication, and there we go. Post has a multi-point lead.
I don't know. Coach got a hand on that. Is that still not in play? He grabbed it out of the air.
Coach Colin Sibilia on his 7th year still wants to play. Big time kill there by Espinlad to bring the deficit back to 1.
This is where one team, especially if you're post case, you want to get on a run here, extend this lead to 4-5, force Holy Family to use their timeout.
Yeah, and to reiterate myself a little bit, this time in both sets 1 and 2, we kind of had a feeling of who was going to come out with it. That's not the case here. And there's another attack error from Duncan. That's her 5th. And we're tied at 16.
Yeah, and she got the elevation there. It's just she did not locate. She was trying to locate it past a couple of players on Holy Family's side and just went long.
From the back low, Parrish off the ceiling. Good job by Morgan Marziani to position herself. Duncan, what a play by Morgan Marziani again. And Holy Family wins the net front battle.
Yeah, this is the exact opposite of what you wanted if you're post. The 3-0 run for Holy Family now gives them the lead back.
Morgan Marziani-Radomski played it off the ceiling, dived in front of her, solely responsible for that one. Shahid Stevenson too far, but they say it went off a fingertip.
Oh, really?
And it's tied at 17.
I thought it was closer to hitting just the edge of the line back there, if anything. I didn't even see anybody tip it at the front of the net.
Another kill for Nia. It's number 4. Post with one timeout. Holy Family still has both. Kinzer sent back. Kinzer one more time. Second effort. Parrish tries to clean it up, and it just goes into the net. Holy Family takes a 1-point lead, and here comes Mackenzie Layton back into action in the front row. Kind of a benefit for Layton. She kind of gets a breather when her rotation is in the back. Here's Parrish. Good job by Wise to get a piece of it. Ava Kidd on the joust. Did they call a net violation on Kidd? They did.
Really?
She's saying absolutely not. But we have yet another tie.
I think even Christina Parrish knows she got away with one there. I saw her touch the net, not the other way around.
It looked like she hit it into the top of the net, and that might have given any of the judges a misconception. But again, only Ava Kidd really knows if that's the case.
Yeah.
Layton on the tip. Good job to respond after it was quickly sent back. Wise tries to find the gap. Free ball from Parrish. Wise up for Layton. Holy Family by one.
Yeah, and what I didn't like about that sequence for post there is, especially on the free ball coming over, 3 girls are all going after the same dig. Somebody's got to be able to communicate with somebody to call them off.
Holy Family working very quickly. Ava Kidd immediately into her service position. Kidd, Layton, another kill for Mackenzie Layton, number 18. And post is going to burn that final timeout, Michael, it's kind of getting to that home stretch where they don't have much of a margin for error anymore.
No, and that's what I was just talking about with the communication there. The Eagles on a couple of those points just kind of out of sync. Like when you have 3 people going after one ball on the over on a free ball, it kind of puts everything out of rhythm. If Alice DiFrancesco and Alyssa Groves, and I couldn't see who the other one was, go after the ball, now your setter and your defensive specialist are kind of both out of the mix to set up Ortiz or Duncan for that kill attempt. And then it led to an Holy Family point there by Layton, and then Layton just responds again with another one, her 18th of the day.
Michael, perhaps it's because maybe she missed a couple games early in the year. She's played 7 sets less than Shelby Kinzer, but Mackenzie Layton's not even first on her team in kills. Kinzer came into this one with 304, Layton with 286. But, I mean, Layton on her side, it's not even arguable the most dominant player for the Tigers today.
No, and she's only a freshman. Like I said, Christina Parrish is probably your player of the year here in the CACC, but Mackenzie Layton at 5'9", an outside hitter from Clarksboro, New Jersey, is showing that she's going to be a pest to deal with for opponents for the next 3 years after this year.
Shelby Kinzer a senior, so it's like they're not going to really be missing much at the outside position. Layton just 5'9", too, so I guess that's a little bit undersized for an outside hitter. Still more than productive, as the results would show.
389 hit percentage so far.
We have Rosalind Briggs in for the first time on serve for the Tigers. A bit of a change, and Layton picks up another kill, catching Groves on the ground.
I couldn't tell if that was actually a block or not, because she kind of, I don't even know if they went up for the attack post did. Looked like it was a free ball close to the net.
Rosalind Briggs in right now for Holy Family. Only has played in 33 sets prior, a freshman out of Hagerstown, Maryland. They call her an outside on the stat sheet, but playing in the back row right now for the Tigers. And Parrish, that's a much-needed kill to keep post in it.
Yeah, Holy Family's gone on this run here to kind of take control of set 3, and now the Eagles kind of have to do what they did a couple games ago, work their way back into the set 3. It's a pivotal set 3. You don't want to go down trailing 2-1 into set 4.
It's Salder on serve. Here is Layton again off the tip. Salder right there to receive. Here's Parrish. Good job by the front row to settle it down. Logan rejected.
Great rejection up front by Shaheed Stevenson. That was Nuri Shaheed Stevenson to just single-handedly take that one down and give post a second straight point and force a timeout for Holy Family.
Her 4th block, and that's a Much needed timeout for Holy Family. Obviously, they needed to burn one of their two at least. With their lead swindled back down to 21-20. Going over the stats, Parrish up to 22 kills. We're not even through 3 sets. Layton at 18. But again, Mackenzie Layton, we talked about her dominance a lot today, but something that can't go unnoticed. She came into today with a hitting percentage of 2.234. She's hitting .378 today. So if you're post, you can look at that and think, yes, she's a dominant player on the outside, but she shouldn't be hitting as well as she is.
No, she's kind of been a surprise for today's game for Holy Family. I'm assuming Coach Sibilia probably knows what he has in Layton, but probably wasn't expecting such a Herculean performance that he's gotten from her so far. You know, we talk about Shelby Kinzer being one of the team's leader in kills. Last year's matchup, Kinzer had 8 kills, didn't even lead the team. It was Ava Kidd who had 11 kills. And Christina Parrish, it was a 3-set sweep for the Tigers, who were 4-11 at that time. Parrish only had 8 kills last year and a 129 attack percentage. And you look at today, she's already got 22 and a 291 hit percentage. Of course, last year they also had Sarah Enright and Kaylee Harper, but Parrish and Enright were pretty much those two on the front line doing all the attacking. And she was held in check last year, and now she's kind of finding something different today on another level, like I said, in these past 6-7 matches.
Layton has a career high of 19 kills. She's achieved that twice against Franklin Pierce and Goldie Beacom. Going for that career high number 19, but it's received well in the front row. Parrish delivers 3 straight post points to tie it at 21.
Yeah, and the big consistency right now is Raisa Salther is back there serving, just like she was in set number 2 when the Eagles won on the run to take control of set 2. So keep an eye on that as we get down the stretch here.
Knows how to pick her spots for sure. Wise, they go for Layton, and another point off the ceiling by Parrish. Palmer will bump set. Layton again, and it misses the back line. Layton goes, my fault. That's 4 straight post points, and they all of a sudden have a 22-21 lead.
And if I'm not mistaken, Holy Family still does have one timeout left. Post doesn't have any.
That is correct. Salter on serve. Goes at Kinzer. Layton again. Career high 19. For the 3rd time in her young collegiate career. As Holy Family's going to bring in another offensive attacker in the front in Kalia Espinlaub. Wise is on the serve. 22 all. Crucial points here in set 3. And Parrish got it off a tip. DiFrancesco is laughing. They think they got away with one there.
I don't know. Big credit to the refs for being able to see it, because I can't.
You and me both. Wise, that's a tough pass for Layton to deal with, but she made do. Now she's got her true career high in 20 kills.
Unreal performance from her, and on that one, unfortunately, it just seems like the Eagles went up too late for the block attempt. Almost would have been better off because of how far Layton was back.
And she's on serve now. Gets it on the sideline. Shahid Stevenson. Espinlaub there. Hook shot Logan. Might have been a carry uncalled. Wise. Back set for Espinlaub. Kept off by Groves. Parrish delivers. Set point Eagles.
Yeah, I'm seeing some of the fans in the stands saying, first of all, that was a carryover, and then I think they were arguing that they hit the net, too, on one of the attack attempts.
4 posts right now, Michael. No time like the present. Layton out of the game. It's Logan, Wise the setter, and Espinlaub in the front row. Kinzer's in the back. So this is not the offensive rotation you want right now if you're Holy Family. Let's see if they can make do. Here's Espinlaub. Post takes set 3.
And you know that right before that, the side ref was asking Coach Sibilia if he wanted timeout, and he said no. Interesting strategy there to not use it down 24-23, but the Eagles prevail, coming from behind, honestly, in this one to take set 2 and go set 3 and go into set 4.
They led 21-18. Post takes 7 of the last 9 points. We're going to a set 4. Post is going to try to wrap it up and win their 10th in a row when we come back here on the CACC Network. Post and Holy Family, if you've been tuning in with us, it's been a great one. If you're just joining us, Post leading 2-1, heading into set 4, taking set 3, 25-23. Christina Parrish leading the way with 25 kills on her senior day, continuing to dominate back row, front row. She's gotten it done from both ends. On the other end, Mackenzie Layton been carrying the load for her team offensively. 20 of the 37 kills for the Tigers, a career high for the freshmen on their end as well, Michael.
Yeah, and look, like we mentioned at the top of this broadcast, Post pretty much doesn't have to worry about too much in terms of CACC tournament play. They've clinched the #1 overall seed going into the CACC tournament, but this game is big for regionals. Both teams are in the consideration for an NCAA bid. A win here for either side is a big resume booster to get an at-large if you don't win the CACC championship.
Holy Family's won the first point to kick off all three sets so far. Can they do it in set 4? They can. Ava Kidd, who's been all over the place today, gets kill number 4.
And she was the one I was talking about who had 11 kills to lead the way last year for Holy Family in their matchup against Post.
And an ace. This is exactly how Holy Family needed to start after the disappointing end to set 3 on their side. A service ace for Marziani Radomski. It's a 2-point lead now for the Tigers. Power tip coming from Parrish. That was a double touch, but they didn't call it. Here's Layton. It's 3-0.
Yeah, so each of the last 3 sets, Holy Family has jumped out, I believe, to at least a 2-0 lead. And Post has responded. This is where they need to respond. You cannot let this set get out of hand and make it go to a 5th.
Might have been wrong there. It looked like Groves might have double touched, but yeah, I definitely don't have the best angle here. Layton again. That was Kinzer, excuse me, that time. Kidd, power tips to the corner. What a stop that time in the back row. Bumstead goes in the direction of Kinzer, and Duncan mistimed her jump. 4 straight points off the jump for the Tigers. This is their dream start to set 4.
Yeah, 2 for 4 on the attack so far. Post 0 for 5.
Marziani Radomski. Now it's Parrish. In full system. Kinzer to the middle. 5 straight points. Timeout Post. What an overwhelming start for the Tigers.
Yeah, and again, like I said last set when the Eagles were down 8-5, smart timeout to call it now. You don't want this set to get out of control. You don't want to make it have to go to a 5th set if you don't have to, if you're the Post Eagles. Again, you're at your best start since, I think, 2016 at 22-3, and this is a crucial matchup, even if it means nothing for seeding on Post side, but for a regional bid. And so you want to take this as quick as possible in as few sets as possible, boost that resume so that come championship time, if these two teams are meeting again and the results go the other way, the winner of this game has that little extra boost to say, hey, we lost to the conference champion earlier this year, or vice versa. We beat the conference champion earlier this year.
This is obviously the regular season home finale for the Eagles this fall. They'll play on Wednesday on the road against Felician, and then finalize their regular season on the road on Saturday against Dominican University. So looking forward to having one home playoff game here, that is, for the CACC tournament after this one.
Yep, quarterfinals will be on the following Tuesday at 6 o'clock against the 4 seed in the South Division, which it's kind of a toss-up right now who's going to take that 4 seed. Everybody's kind of mixed at the bottom of the CACC South Division.
And all 3 of the losses that Post has suffered this year have come out of conference. So we'll see how they fare in the tournament if they can continue. Here's Parrish off the break. They go to Kinzer, 6-0 Holy Family.
Yeah, and Jeremy, those 3 losses they had so far this year are against teams that are all in consideration for a regional bid right now. So no bad losses on Post resume. Even a loss today wouldn't be bad, but you want to keep stacking up those wins.
They shovel it to the corner on serve. Back set goes all the way for Shahid Stevenson. Power tip by Kidd. Groves will bump set. Can they get Parrish going? What a dig by Palmer! Somehow kept off Groves on the free ball. Unbelievable effort that time. Kinzer again. Dug out. What a rally we have going here. Kinzer missed the line. Kid wanted the tip, but Post finally gets on the board.
That's a big point there. Break up a 6-0 run, and now you get Alyssa Groves back there to serve, and hopefully now you can maybe string together some service aces.
In the net from Groves. Tough one to deal with there. It's 7-1. Groves with her first error after having 2 aces prior.
Both teams with only 5 service aces and 8 errors each.
Layton back into the game for the Tigers. Groves is targeted on serve, and Shahid Stevenson mistimed her jump. Her and Duncan have both fallen victim to that over the last few points or so.
I'm not going to lie, that didn't look like it was well set for Parrish
No,
either way.
definitely not.
I know they're kind of frustrated with each other, but yeah, that wasn't high enough for either of them to get to.
High pass for Parrish that time, and she gets her first kill of the frame.
Yeah, like I said, she heats up as the game goes on, and when she's upset, that's when she takes it to another level. She was a little upset after that last sequence, and she's talking right now with DiFrancesco and Shahid Stevenson. They got to figure this out. You cannot be arguing on the court with each other in a big set 4 here.
Clearly some frustration going on in the front row with Shahid Stevenson and DiFrancesco. Here is Layton. That's way too far. A little too much power on that one.
Yeah, and that's what you need now. You strung together a couple of points if you're Post, and again, they're kind of still trying to figure out their system on that front line.
Line drive. They go at Kinzer. Layton in rhythm. Sent back. Shahid Stevenson and DiFrancesco, a good team up that time on the block. Kidd tries to respond, but fanned. 3 straight Post points. Something's generating here.
Yeah, and it's the front line. They're figuring it out together, and look at that. A great block by Shahid Stevenson and DiFrancesco to keep that rally going and set that up for a point.
Really nice defensive communication on that side, but another error breaks up the rally as Holy Family's lead back up to 5.
Yeah, and I believe that was that was the first one of the day for Salter, who's been so good back there serving.
Whenever Ava Kidd goes back to serve, it's really quick. She doesn't waste a lot of time. Ball coming towards us.
Nearly got a dig there for myself.
It's going to be a Post point. Here's something to watch out for. Parrish, 3 errors on the day from the service line. Can she generate a run herself from back there? Gonna line drive. That's an ace.
You don't see it often. She jumps on it. That time she jumped.
Bit of a minor jump that time. 2 aces and 3 errors for Parrish. So a lot of points when she serves have come on the serve.
Yeah, usually she just sits back there at the wall and just hits it. That time she actually ran up and jumped.
Let's take a look at this one. Another minor jump to the back row at Kinzer. Logan plays it to the middle. Ortiz right at Kinzer again. A nice pass that sets up Layton, and another awesome dig by Groves. Off the tip of Palmer, and the Eagles are within 2.
Another big kill from Parrish. She's starting to get going since that little bit of a miscommunication where everybody kind of talked it out. She's got, 2 kills and a service ace now.
It's a 7-3 run since it was 6-0 Tigers earlier in this frame. Must-win set for Holy Family. Layton's on the board, 21 kills for the freshman. Espinlaud and Layton, when they're in at the same time, it gets really dangerous. At the net, this is Tigers' best chance to regenerate their large lead. Ortiz trying to get involved and split the block, but can't do it. But Parrish does from the back.
That's incredible. Like, she has so much power up front, but the fact she's back near the 3-point line in terms of the court, if you're watching on the stream, to still have so much power and get it around the blockers to generate offense for the Eagles is fantastic.
But normally when somebody swings from the back row, you don't need 2 players to jump up, and she's still splitting it.
Right.
Wise, they go back for Layton, kind of
I don't know how they got that.
Yeah. Kind of tied up Parrish there, and Layton's got kill number 22. So Parrish with 28, Layton with 22. And it's Layton on serve. At Parrish she goes. Ortiz again. They're playing late in the back row with her being behind the service line. Fed to the back for Parrish again, but that one falls short.
Had the power, just didn't have the angle. I don't even think Logan got a hand on that. It just kind of went off the net.
This season, the career high in kills for Parrish, 29.
And that's her all-time career high, too, as well. Between AIC, Quinnipiac, and here, 29 is her career high.
And in a service error there from Layton, so she returns the favor. Holy Family's lead trimmed to 12-9. So Parrish, 1 kill away from tying that mark.
Yeah, and I'd have to even see. It was against Bentley, so I think her attack percentage is actually exactly where it was at in that game.
2-7-8 right now for the senior. Going to be a free ball backwards from Kinzer. Back set for Shaheed Stevenson, and it ties up Palmer.
And that was great. That was just great deception by the Eagles. I thought it was going over to Ortiz on the other side, and Shaheed Stevenson on the near side sends it home, and I don't think Holy Family was expecting it either.
Coach Sibilia telling his libero and Palmer to just settle down a little bit. He looked a little overwhelmed. They go to Kinzer at the pin. Really good awareness by Palmer to lay that one off as it dropped out of bounds. Sometimes it's just instinct to play the ball off the block, and she did a really good job knowing where it was on the floor. Played to the middle for Duncan. Really nice job. Set goes up high for Shaheed Stevenson, and the power tip is down.
It's almost like a double set. You had Grove set it up for DiFrancesco for the kill over there.
So the Tigers still lead, but that margin is definitely withstandable now for Post. They've trailed by as much as 6 in the set. It's down to 2 for the third time. They go for Kinzer. Went off the bottom of her hand, but it still converts. Bit of a break there for Kinzer. And Shelby Kinzer's got her 13th kill. So Holy Family has the benefit of having a second attacker in double digits today. The next most on Post behind Parrish is Nia Shaheed Stevenson with 6. They go to Duncan there. Up high for Kinzer, kill number 13.
The big thing, though, even though Parrish is really leading the way offensively, has been the Eagles are putting balls into areas that are forcing Holy Family to make a play and are forcing them to make errors that are uncontested so that the Eagles can generate more offense.
Still 1 timeout left for Post. Holy Family with both in pocket. Parrish out of bounds, but off a tip. Again, like you said, it was originally ruled out of bounds, but they changed the call, so it's crazy how much they're able to see that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Parrish was pointing at the back judge saying, you saw it.
So that's kill number 29 for Parrish that does tie the career high. Kinzer got it down. The Shaheed Stevenson twins, it fell flat in front of them at the net.
That's what I mean. Even when the Eagles aren't generating offense, that front line has been so good at blocking down balls and forcing the continued attempt by Holy Family to get it back over. That's where they're getting points from.
Kinzer off the top of the tape a little bit. Here is Parrish for the career high. Won't go. Kinzer kind of whacks at it from the back. Shaheed Stevenson, nice dig by Palmer. Her best of the day. Kidd finds the corner. And the Holy Family lead is inflated back to 5.
A big kill there from her, only her 5th of the day, but it froze Fahervery back there. And again, now Holy Family's lead back in control of this set.
Bump set from Palmer. Layton has it dug out. Parrish, right to Layton again. They go for Kidd. Kidd back on. Number 6 for the middle blocker. Post calls their final timeout with the lead back at 6.
Yeah, and I'm not overly concerned if I'm Post right now. Holy Family is doing a great job on the offense, on the attack, but the big thing is that the Eagles have adjusted not just throughout this match, but throughout the season. Like I said, 9-2 coming into the day when losing the first set. they've clearly made adjustments after that first set and out of timeouts even today to get back into sets and into this match. So good timeout here by Coach Verney to call it now before things, again, get too far out of control. And now coming out of the break, you have to get on a 3-4-0 run to get yourself back into this and hopefully take it in 4.
Hit percentage, Holy Family at .196, Post at .180, so they've leapt back ahead of the Eagles in this set so far.
Yeah, 345 in this set alone for Holy Family, 156 for Post. Parrish has only had 4 kills in this set so far, and Kinzer and Layton have both started to kind of get things working for them, as well as Ava Kidd for Holy Family.
In 5-set matches, if it does get there, Post is 5-2.
I believe it's 6-2.
I will take your word for it.
I know I mentioned it in the last broadcast.
Their last 5-set match was a win against Jefferson on October 18th. Kinzer, near over pass. Shahid Stevenson missed the sideline on the cross-court swing. Believe it or not, this is the largest lead Holy Family's had at 7. Parrish still sitting at that 29 kill mark. 30 would be the most she's had in her collegiate career. They go for Parrish. Power tip kept off by Layton, but it will be kill number 30 on her senior day for Christina Parrish.
Wow. I mean, she's been magnificent all year, like I said, coming into this match. She's had double-digit kills in every game this year except for one when she had 9. And another 20-plus kill game for her today.
She had 76 attacks today, too. Unbelievable total. Here's Layton. Played back. Layton one more time. Blocked!
And that's what I talked about. That front line has been so good that when they're not generating points offensively on the attack, the Eagles are getting points because of defense. And you mentioned Parrish with 76 attacks. That's not even her attempts. That's not even her most this year so far.
The chemistry between Nia Shahid Stevenson, too, and DiFrancesco has certainly improved since the beginning of this frame, as that's an attack error. Or it got a fingertip off the swing from the middle of the floor. Kidd will go back to serve. It's 20-14 in favor of the Tigers. And an ace. Nobody came to retrieve the pass from Groves, and it's 21-14. Pass for Parrish. Kidd put it off the ceiling. That had a little too much velocity on it to play it cleanly. And Parrish gets kill number 31.
If we head to a 5th set, she could easily reach 40.
What's the CAC mark on the year? Do you know that?
I would have to check. I don't even know how to check that, honestly. Yeah. I don't think there's any place to easily look.
She's behind the service line now. Near overpass. What a play by Wise. Post able to keep it off. From the back row into the net it goes. Off the swing from Kinzer. 7-point lead is dwindled down to 5, 21-16. Again, Holy Family has both their timeouts. They're going to burn one right now to make sure this lead stays in comfort.
I can tell you, I'm looking at it right now. The kill record for a single match is 37.
Record
for a single match set by Mackenzie John of Dominican back in 2014. And then Emily Roth from, I don't remember what school that is, back in 2008. 2005, but the important thing to note about the 2005 record, that's when they played sets to 30 points as well. John's record would have come in the modern era when they played to 25.
Unbelievable. Like, we could see history today if this does go to a 5th set and towards the distance.
Yeah, I mean, she's going to crack the top 6 all time with one more, with Nylene Mateo and another Goldie Beacom player from 2018 and 2022, just off of this alone, with one more kill today.
Alyssa Groves already has the Diggs record in CACC history with 48 against New Haven last year.
Yeah, and the second most against Felician last year as well.
New Haven, a new Division I program. They're in the NEC. We'll keep an eye on that for sure. 37 is the mark, 38 for an all-time record. Kinzer on serve receive. They go for Layton. Kept off. That's another good job on the block by Shahid Stevenson and DiFrancesco, but that time Layton follows up with kill number 22.
And Jeremy, like you asked, who has the most kills for a single season this year? No one, obviously, if that's the mark. So Christina Parrish now has the season record for the CACC this year alone.
That one's out of bounds. Or it got the line. Parrish thought that was going out of bounds. It nabbed the back of the line, so it's an ace for Wise. 23-16. Holy Family a couple points away from a set 5. They go for Shahid Stevenson. Another set, this time in the direction of Ortiz on the block. Somehow kept alive, but it goes out of bounds. I think it might have been 4 touches anyway. Nonetheless, set point Tigers.
Yeah, and now all you have to do if you're the Eagles, I mean, a 9-0 run would be great, but get some momentum if you're going to have to go to a 5th set.
Wise off the top of the tape, off the chest it goes of Sauter. They go for Layton, trying to wrap it up, and she does. What a statement set 4 win by Holy Family with their backs against the wall, and we're going to have our 9th set 5 on the year for the Eagles. When we come back, we'll have a winner, 1st to 15 between Post and Holy Family. We have a set 5 between Post and Holy Family here on the CACC Network. Third to last game of the regular season for both of these teams. The home finale for the Eagles. Alongside Michael Vesey, I'm Jeremy Goldstein. Michael, we've seen both of these teams dominate at separate points offensively, and there have been flashes of greatness, I guess, from whether it's Christina Parrish or Mackenzie Layton. but it's 15 points it's going to come down to at the end of the day.
Yep, nothing that happened in the first 4 sets matters at this point, obviously, other than the stats that we've seen from both sides. These two teams met here in the Drubner Center 2 years ago, went 5 sets. Post went down 2-0, won the next 2 sets, and the 5th set 15-8 that year. Holy Family was 5-14, Post 3-16. So both these teams have really turned it around in the last 2 years to get where they are. Shelby Kinzer had 17 kills in that one, Ava Kidd 15.
Feels like it's something that's going to come down to the service line in this game today. These two teams, each with 9 errors apiece, 7 aces for Holy Family, 6 for Post. So whoever has the less mistakes behind the service line feels like they could come out on top.
Yeah, and if Raisa Salter is behind the line serving at the end of this set, I give the advantage to Post if they're in front.
It's Vivian Andrea Fehavari who will start for the Eagles to begin our 5th and final set. Holy Family takes set 1 and 4. Post got 2 and 3. Near ace off the jump. They go for Kinzer. Off the ceiling it goes and down.
Yeah, unfortunately Groves was right there where she could have hit it, but since she took the initial one, she couldn't.
So Shelby Kinzer gets her 16th kill. She's catching up to Mackenzie Layton a little bit. The two have combined for 39 of their team's 52. And Layton now into the game off the bench. Here's Parrish. What a dig in the back row by Kinzer. Layton. They're trying to rule it off the pin. This is going to be a Holy Family point.
I didn't see the pin move at all. I mean, you would see it move clear as day
Yeah.
if it did hit it, and that thing is still.
Unless they're going for a net violation, they're saying, on Layton, but it didn't look like that was the case either.
Yeah, no, they definitely pointed to the pin, and we have the best angle of this near side pin, and that thing will move if it's hit.
All 4 judges by the high chair are currently huddling up to discuss. If it stands, it'll be a kill for Mackenzie Layton and a 2-0 Holy Family lead. And it's going to be a Holy Family point. Again, this is a 9-game win streak on the line for the Eagles as well, and an undefeated
And now a yellow
conference
card
record.
has just been issued to Alicia DiFrancesco for talking with the ref.
She's the court captain. So she can't go up to you to talk to you. She's the court captain. That's what she's supposed to do.
Yellow card has been assessed to the setter DiFrancesco.
Why is she getting a yellow card?
Coach Vernie showing some frustration with that ruling.
She said no, and she took it away, and she's getting a yellow card for what? She's the court captain.
Now, I get the justification being a court captain, but if Alicia DiFrancesco did say something that was I mean, again, we can't see what's being said over there, but if something was said to the court from Alicia DiFrancesco to the ref, then it would be grounds for a yellow card, obviously. And, yep. Yeah, so the ref just said she yelled at the line judge. So even though she's a court captain, it doesn't justify her to yell at the referee. So that's what the call was for.
One more yellow card, obviously. It could be detrimental to the offense on Post, and it's an ace right out the gate. And it's Holy Family just taking advantage of momentum with Shelby Kinzer there behind the service line. Post is a little out of sorts right now. Feels like a timeout might be coming soon.
Either that or you've just got to figure it out on the court together. They're getting out of sorts because they're, feeling the pressure, I think, a little.
They go to Parrish, and she converts. What a big-time kill from Post's best player. It's kill number 32 on the night.
And that'll tie the 6th best mark in CACC history now, 32.
3-1 the score. It's Groves on serve. They set up Layton. Groves in the perfect spot. Off the deflection, Kinzer makes the nice pass to the center, Wise. It's Kidd. Wise keeps it off. Layton again, right there in the back row is the Eagle defense. Shahid Stevenson on a free ball. It's all Holy Family, everything but the point. Layton again, there's the kill. Tigers by 3 once again, getting everything they want offensively to start set 5.
Yeah, Eagles just have to calm themselves down again. You had a few points not go your way at the start of the set. Calm down and get back to your game.
High set up for Parrish.
There it is.
Just too much to handle for Marziani Morgan.
Yeah, that'll be the 5th most kills in CACC history now for a single match.
33. Normally you'd want to enjoy it when you're approaching a record like that, but they're focused on the win, so it's like I don't know if she even knows she has the record or is approaching it.
Probably
nonetheless.
not. We didn't even know.
Wise up, Layton sent back. DeFrancesco and Shahid Stevenson, a good combo block there again. Here's Parrish again. Got the line. Number 34. 3 straight for the senior.
Now she's tied for 4th all time with Ursula Pereira and Yuriana Silveria.
They set up Layton again. Overpass and posts favor. Rare mishap by Wise, who has 46 more assists today. And we're tied at 4.
And this is what I mean about these Eagles being able to adjust. You saw that frustration on those first few points, and now they've banded together to tie it up at 4.
Near collision on the pass. And
wow,
Layton whiffed.
big miscue there. Eagles. And who's back there now? It's Raisa Salter still on this run.
And now we're going to get a Holy Family timeout. If you told me a few points ago the first timeout would come from Holy Family side, I would have called you nuts.
I know. It's crazy to see how much momentum changes things. And again, I mentioned it 2 seconds ago. The way that Post is able to reband together after a few bad points, you have the yellow card to DeFrancesco. It would be easy for a team that's not all together and on the same page to fall apart and use that as a way to kind of get off their game and let Holy Family go on a big run. This team did the opposite of that, got back to their game, and now they're in front 5-4.
Once the team gets to 8 points, we'll see the side switch. Holy Family won the coin toss prior to the set, and Ava Kidd did say they wanted to start on that side. Who knows if that's meaningful, but maybe they view this side as their better side. Again, both teams have won a set on each side so far, so there has been no differential, so to speak.
No, and again, like I mentioned, as this game is worn on, Christina Parrish is going to be a big player you're going to see get a lot of attempts in this set that is going to have a chance to bring this home for the Eagles. She's 4 away from the CACC record. What if she's able to do it on point 15? That would be something insane to see.
You got 9 points left before you get to a potential point 15. Still very tightly contested match. It's going to be a deflating loss for whoever suffers defeat today, you have to feel like. Salter on the serve. They got in front of Palmer, and Logan got the back line. Oh, what a precision kill by Leah Logan for just her second kill on the day, and she ties it at 5.
A negative 182 hit percentage before that one. She had 12 attacks and 3 errors before that.
What an unlikely source of a big point out of the timeout. DeFrancesco with a long pass to Parrish. Miscommunication. That was an awkward swing, and I think it was a little overprepared for her by the net front.
That's now 3rd all time with 35.
Ortiz in. Parrish behind the service line. Another aspect of this point to watch. Got it over in play. Wise, Layton, back on the board. And this is a stretch. They're going to have Parrish in his back row for a little bit now. A lot of these outsides, these right sides on this net front for Holy Family, they're going to want to go at her defensively. Layton into the net.
I was just about to say, Layton's in the back row too, so your 2 best attackers are in the back for
both
teams.
Layton and Parrish have 3 errors each from the service line today now.
Yeah, I mean, the service line has not been kind to either team so far
Definitely
today.
not, no. It's going to be Alexa Arnold back in to serve. She's played sparingly today, but effectively behind on serve.
4 big digs earlier in this game.
Espin lob, they say it got a tip. It's 7-7, so when we switch sides, it's going to be the closest margin possible.
Yeah, I wish there was a way to look at the lead changes overall for the entire match, because they are neck and neck in these last couple, other than the 4th set, which was one of Post's worst set losses in a while.
Here's Duncan. Nice job on the deflection at the net. Kidd, Holy Family in front, 8-7. And we'll switch sides with a minor Tiger lead.
And Post still has both of their timeouts. Holy Family just with 1 now, so quick reset here. And again, kind of still, I feel that Post has the advantage in this right now, just based on the way Parrish has been swinging. She's heating up as the game has gone on. It's just cleaning up a few of those errors and miscues that they've had right here down the stretch. Every point matters. These service aces and errors, these are what's going to matter down the stretch with the way both teams have been serving it.
Only 8 kills for Ava Kidd on 25 attempts today, but it feels like all 8 of them have come at big moments. Here's Ortiz, sent back but out of bounds. Ortiz was just her 3rd kill, but it's a big one. It ties us up at 8.
She's another one who flies under the radar. It's just a freshman. But she has her moments, especially in 5th sets so far this year.
DiFrancesco on serve. Here's Kinzer, 9-8 Tigers. The sides alternate points. We've seen that trend a lot today already. Jaden Braultz is back in the back row for Holy Family. Morgan Marziani-Radomski on serve for the Tigers. Overpass cleaned up by Kidd.
Just too much power on that one from Groves, receiving the dig and just got it back into a perfect spot for an easy kill.
Post still has both of their timeouts, yet to use one, perhaps if another Holy Family point comes up here. Here's Kinzer, 11-8 Tigers. As Shelby Kinzer has now 18 kills on the day.
A little surprised no timeout here in an 11-8 game with the way Holy Family has, well, I think, rattled off now. That's 5 straight points.
It's 4 straight points, 4 straight. Free ball will come from Parrish. Here's Kidd. Out of bounds. That's a big attack error break for Post. Gives them some new life down 2. Andrea Feherivari on serve now. They go at the libero. Palmer up for Kinzer. Blocked. Duncan, Shaheed Stevenson. It's a 1-point set.
Big response here by Post to get 2 big defensive stops to get themselves back into the set when it looked like we thought Coach Verney would probably call a timeout just a couple points ago.
Nice precision serve to the sideline. Kidd. Ava Kidd dominating set 5. Up to 10 kills now on the day. The 3rd Tiger with double digits.
I mean, this entire Tigers offense is right now 11 kills in the set, a 400 hit percentage, only 3 errors.
11 of their 12 points on the kill. Groves on receive. Parrish in a good spot. Overpass Palmer. Joust will have a reset at the net. Parrish again. Out of the reach of Kinzer. Kill number 36.
1 away from tying that CACC single game record.
If she does it, she's definitely going to want to do it in a win. As Groves serves. Here's Kidd again! Ava Kidd with 11. 5 kills in the set. It's 13-11 Tigers. Still no Post timeout.
Yeah, and she's in double digits now. 10 kills on the day, 179 hit percentage.
It will be Rosalind Briggs. She's played one other time today, who will serve and try to potentially wrap things up. They go at Parrish, near overpass, comes back in and delivers. And that is the single game season record for kills in a match by Christina Parrish, tying the 37 kill mark.
And we have to give major credit to Lice DiFrancesco for even making that possible. That looked like that ball was going over, and she pulled it back in for Parrish to even have a shot at it. Race Salter back to serve now.
Line drive. Good job on receive by Kinzer. It's Logan! 2 of her 3 kills in set 5, and it's match point Holy Family.
And no timeout coming either for Post.
Probably just doesn't want to let it stir with them in a break.
Never mind, they will call it.
Mia Wise, the setter on serve. Wise has 55 assists, but she'll have to wait. They do call timeout.
Yeah, Tiff Burney called it after I think Holy Family got set, probably to see what they were showing, and now just wants them to reset, figure out what they have to do out of this break. You have to score 2 now if you're Post, at least to force it into a tiebreaker scenario, because anything that's at 15 points with a 2-point lead is a game, set, match for Holy Family now.
Parrish, again, like we said, has tied the all-time CACC mark for most kills in a game with 37. Also has 13 digs, 2 aces to go along with it. Mackenzie Layton has settled down a little bit over the last couple of sets. 26 kills on 61 attacks for her, but 8 errors. Parrish also with 8 errors on 87 attempts. But it's been the unlikely sources for Holy Family that have gotten it done. Leah Logan with 2 over 3 kills in this set. Ava Kidd has 5 of her 11 kills in this set. So even with Layton on the bench, they're still generating offense, and that's been something for Post. They got to figure it out. Yeah,
they're just finding ways to get it done, while Post is just kind of relying on Christina Parrish for the most part. Other people have gotten in there and gotten the big defensive stops at the front with the blocks from the Shaheed Stevenson twins and everything, but Parrish has been the main source of offense for Post, and attacking at a 333 clip, which is her best all time for a game.
Served by Wise, out of bounds. Unbelievable. An error on match point, and Post has new life, but it's going to be Parrish on serve.
You said it was going to come down possibly to a service error or ace, and that could be the difference, as now Holy Family is going to be forced to use a timeout.
Parrish has had a few errors today, but over her last few trips to the line, she's kind of just prioritized getting it in the court of play. That's obviously got to be the case here today.
Yeah, you don't need to overcomplicate things here. Force Holy Family to make something happen. Don't give them the easy point for the win. I'm looking at these all-time hit percentages, too, for a single CACC match. And unfortunately, they're based on total attempts. So, for example, the leader of all time has a 909 hit percentage because she had 10 kills on 11 attempts, it looks like. So I don't know in Christina Parrish's case where 333 would stack up in terms of having as many kills as she has relative to attempts, because 37 out of 87 is pretty remarkable for her to have, and probably has to be a CACC record if you kind of zoomed out big picture.
If you add today's stats with the numbers for Christina Parrish, 24 aces to 44 errors. So a minus 20 on that ratio, but again, in points like this, you definitely change your approach. Mackenzie Layton is back in the game. She's in the front row. She's probably going to rush up from behind the line if she does get a pass her way. Parrish gets it in. Wise, back set. Layton.
Oh, that was close.
Just out. Thought it might have been off the tip, but we're going to have extra points here in set 5.
Yeah, Jeremy, I'm not going to lie. I thought that got just inside of that line, but they called it out. Even Kristen, to my right, is saying she thought it got in.
Hard for the Holy Family side to even see if it did. Wise, they go for Layton again. She doesn't miss there. Match point again in favor of the Tigers. Looks like neither side's going to call timeout, but Mackenzie Layton, who's also had her service struggles, will be on serve again here.
It's fitting that it's coming down to the 2 best players of the match.
Lobs it to the back row. Miscommunication, near error. Free ball was delivered. Here's Kinzer. Holy Family wins in 5. The 9-game win streak for Post comes to an end, as well as their undefeated home and conference record, as the Tigers pick up their marquee regular season win of the fall and gain some momentum as the playoffs draw near.
Yeah, I mean, look, great match from both teams. Unfortunately, if you're Post, you wish you could get this one back, considering you're up 2-1. Christina Parrish, I mean, we've talked about it all day. A phenomenal game. She ties the CACC record for most kills in a single game in the history of the conference. But credit to Holy Family. They battled back in that 4th set and came out swinging in the 5th set and held on for it. I mean, 3 players in double figures for kills. That's going to be, the big difference there. And in that 4th set, both teams attacked over 400. Eagles had 0 errors, but it just couldn't get it done offensively and get this win.
These are clearly two of the marquee offensive teams in the CACC. A playoff matchup between these two might be a must-watch.
Yeah, I don't know if Holy Family's not even leading the CACC South right now, so there's a possibility that these teams could even meet in the semifinals. If I'm Post, this is probably the team I don't want to have to see before the championship game. But again, we talked about it. Both teams in regional consideration. This isn't a bad loss for Post, but obviously you wish you could have it on your resume for if you don't win the CACC tournament to get that at-large bid, because only 8 teams make it in, 3 automatic qualifiers and 5 at-larges. But nonetheless, a great game from both teams. We probably witnessed the CACC championship preview, and it delivered on all fronts in all 5 sets.
Mia Wise also, before we wrap this up, 57 assists. That's another unreal total. I want to give credit where it's due to the players who showed out today. As for Post, they're going to wrap up their season on the road, Felician and Dominican on Wednesday and Saturday this week. As for Holy Family, they'll return home on Wednesday to face Georgian Court and then have their season finale on the road at Chestnut Hill in Philadelphia. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to our final regular season home broadcasts here on the CACC Network for Post Volleyball. Alongside Michael Vesey, I'm Jeremy Goldstein, and we'll see you next time.